Welcome back to my tens and tens of friends in the community. Today I am going to come to you with a reaction video. Okay, this video has been on the internet for a few months now, probably more, but it's okay. The subject is very relevant. So I did a Terrible 2 video not too long ago, and it talked about, things that you can do with your little ones so that they're not terrible. In that video, I shared a lot of key pointers and tips that you can start young on teaching your child how to be a kid that other people like to be around. But today's reaction video was of a woman giving her kids up to CDS, child CPS maybe, or something, basically the welfare people, if y'all remember what, because it's different in each state. I think Georgia is DFACS, and she may have been in Georgia, and Indiana is FSSA, Family and Social Services Administration. But she was giving them up because she said she could not have anyone to help her with her kid. So, baby girl in the video's name is Amor Lex. She recently went to real life production, and they were referring to her as the welfare lady. And the good thing about her is she's pretty strong, it seems, although given her circumstances, because that didn't bother her. I'm glad that Real Life Productions did a follow up because she gave more context to her story. She was explaining how she had had many heart attacks from trying to be the best parent that she could be. She was raised in a dysfunctional family on both sides. Her dad's side was pretty dysfunctional, and her mom's health had begun to decline. She explains that her baby's father was an older man who we'll say was a little trife, because her first sexual encounter was for food. She had sex with him for a personal pan pizza because her and her brother hadn't eaten in 3 days. So basically, her only support was from her mother, and her mother wasn't doing very well herself. She explains that she suffers from depression. She was in a relationship with an abusive baby father. There was a lack of support for her, and there's also a fear of the law with her because she was afraid of having her babies taken. Yet she lived in deplorable conditions. Um, but she did the best she could to raise her children. Wants everyone to know that they're very smart, very respectable, and from the little bit that we could see and hear, I believe her. Um, so she respected her kids, but didn't love herself. She said she took drugs. She tried drugs, but praise God, she did not like them because we all know that would have just made everything worse for her. She feels that, and this is key, she failed her kids before conception, before they were even born, because of who their dads was. Ladies, choose wisely. Or we have to understand that if we do not choose wisely, that you may have to deal with your children alone without a support system. That community stuff that we hear about is non-fictional, and that raising children on your own could be a true possibility when choosing the wrong father. And that's something that you'll have to face for 18 years and beyond. She considered not having kids when she found out she was pregnant, but she could not go along with having a below. She did having a
So like I take my accountability And I feel like I failed my kids before I conceived them because I chose who their dads was, if that makes sense. Like regardless of like what I've gone through, I'm a mom ass mom. But I would say I definitely failed my kids before they were conceived because of who their dads was, just everything.
And then there was also another video of a woman who was like, my kids bad, they don't listen, they don't help around here, they tell me I don't make enough money for them. I mean, what kid doesn't think that? And or at least, you know, very few kids get to think that their mom make or dad makes enough money for them to live the type of lifestyle they would like to live in their heads. Around the same time, there was another video surfacing about a mom who explained she wants to give up as well. She claimed that her kids were lazy, dirty, rude, and disrespectful, and all they wanted to do was play games all day. She stated that she was a single mother and she couldn't teach boys how to be men. She states that she knew who she was getting and she's not trying to dodge blame on that. Again, ladies, choose wisely. Is it me? Shout out to Funky Geneva, but is it me or are our parents too soft and the children too hard? So I'm just going to again share some tips on how not to end up having to take your kids down to the welfare office or to we all go question ourselves on this parenting thing because you know you want to make sure you're doing it right. And out of all the jobs that you could ever have, parenting is the most important job you would ever have. So we all want to know if we're doing it right. I mean, even so much so that we may ask our children, you know, you think I'm a good mom, and don't do that, okay? Sorry, but they're going to tell you, you know what? You could give me more and probably just lay off my case a little bit because I need to relax most of the time. So probably don't ask your child if you're doing a good job parenting, and no one is perfect. So let's just start there. Um, I've said it before and I'll say it many, many more times. Love your baby down, love your child down, because really, truly, seriously, love is like the number one ingredient of what your child could ever need from you. And if you're wondering what does love look like for your child, that's really up for you to decide. But one thing that I hear a lot from people who grow up is, my mom didn't hug me. My mom didn't say that she loves me or did. So, hey, maybe start there. Maybe start with a hug. It might be awkward if it's not something you're used to, but start with a hug and tell your child you love them. At least every once in a while until it becomes natural and you can do it often, because you really need to love your baby down, and that's what I mean by that. Instill morals into your child. Quit playing. You might be like, I'm gonna let my child be a free thinker, you know, just let them live the way they need to live. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Teach them right is right and wrong is wrong, and when they grow up, it's just in them. Okay. um, have high expectations. Even if they've shown you otherwise, time and time again, still believe in your child and have high expectations. Um, because if you don't expect nothing from them, they're not going to give you anything. Um, One thing that I can kind of turn this to is to say, like, I remember my daughter was did not. If I probably told this story many times before, but I really find it amazing for a child to do this. But her teacher said that she didn't talk, and for days my child did not talk in class, and she could fully speak, could carry on really lengthy conversations, but she was told that she couldn't, so she didn't. So a child will really, if you expect nothing from them, then that's what you'll get. You'll get nothing. So try to have high expectations regardless of what they've shown you. Respect your child and see to it that they respect you and others. Um, Back in my day, you could never disrespect an adult in your parents' face. It was like something that they had to hear about. And then your mom and dad probably really I keep looking around because that little green light in the corner is like, what is that? And it's actually part of the camera. So, yeah. Um, Back in my day, it was unheard of for a person to be disrespectful to an adult, a child to be disrespectful to an adult just because they feel like it. Respect your child and see to it that your child respects others, so when they're grown, it's not foreign to them. So, again, what to do and how to do it, start young. You might think it's so cute for your 1 year old, 2 year old who is just beginning to talk to cuss. It's cute until it ain't cute no more, because now they're full blown a cusser, a sailor, cursing like a sailor because you've laughed at it for years. So now they're out in the world expecting that reaction from everybody, and really we're not here for it. Start young. Don't forget that you are raising kids who will one day be adults. So it's not cute that your 1 year old or 2 year old is cussing repeatedly. Stop them. Stop them now and be serious about it. Another thing that you could do is treat everyone kindly. If your child sees you treating people with respect and helping, and you explain to them, at your young age, you can get out the bed and make it. You can take your shoes off and set them neatly by the door. You can put your plate into the sink and load your plate into the dishwasher. You can wipe off the table. And even if they're doing a terrible job at those things, you still cheer them on until they get them right, because encouragement goes a long way. But start young with having high expectations for your child and giving them responsibilities, because when they grow up, and I think some people look at children and say, oh, they're too young to clean. No, they're too young not to clean, because really, if you expect them to just start cleaning when they turn 10, they don't know how and they're not used to it, and it doesn't sound fun. But if it's a habit for them to put their dishes in the sink when they're done eating, or to make their bed when they get out of it, and it's really, they don't have to take on all the heavy chores in the house, but do have them clean up after themselves. Never forget that a kid is a kid, okay? Don't get beside yourself expecting this young child to, a 2 year old, to vacuum a floor. I'm not saying there aren't any out there that can't. I'm just saying relax. Just be mindful that it's a kid. Be consistent. If you are going to do something one day and then not follow up and continue to do it every day, it's pretty much time wasted. Have consequences. When your child is cursing, it's really easy to ignore it, because some children result to screaming or tantrums, and a lot of times it seems like, I guess parents don't want to deal with it well, or whatever happens. But you have to be consistent. If you tell your child not to display a certain behavior and they do, set them in timeout. They'll be okay. They may scream, cry. I mean, they can only cry so long. And your timer should only be so long anyway. And after if you remain consistent, they'll get used to going to timeout and not having to go to timeout. One of the best things that you can do is to take things away. They say the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. Those games, those PlayStations, those phones, those tablets, take them away. And it doesn't even have to be for a long time. I asked you to put your plate away when you were done eating. I'm gonna need that tablet for 10, 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And before giving it back, explain to them, remember, I took your tablet because you did not put your things away. Next time it'll be longer. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think children learn more when you take things away. Give your child warnings, okay? If you do X, Y, Z again, this is going to happen. And follow through. You might think that your child will love you more with less discipline and more freedom and, you know, letting them do whatever they want to. But the fact of the matter is, children love structure, routine. And again, do not consult your children about what to do about their ill behavior, because they'll probably say nothing. You know, just let it ride out, mom. Just let it go, mom. Let the matter pass. When you raise a child one way, it's in them to be great. As the Bible said, once you lead a child up in the way that they should go, when they grow older, they won't depart from it. So do your very best, because that's all that you can really do. And in doing your best, remain consistent, follow through, set examples. You cannot expect your child to put their dishes in the sink when your room is full of dishes. You can't expect your child to. Now, we can expect our children to do certain things, and we don't do them. But the best lessons are learned when we set examples. Some resources that you can use there's a conscious discipline book. It has many great tools on how to consciously discipline your child. Kids Love Language book, that's a good one. And Easy to Love, Difficult to Discipline, that's another great book. In conclusion, I really hope this video helps. Drop some questions down in the comments, and I could offer more advice. I personally have been working with children for decades. So I know a lot about children. I also have my own, and a lot of times, there's no shade to the other girls, but a lot of times a teacher's own children is like, girl, that's your child. And I hope mine represent me. As far as I know, mans are represent me very well. Anytime I speak with a teacher, it's all good news, and the grades are really good. So, in conclusion, I hope this video helps. I will be praying for you and your little ones, and hope that sending positive energy and love your way. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video. And if you know someone who could benefit from the tips that I shared in this video, please share.